Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, I'm Precious Pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict, and I am your ever-tired narrator. So, Zettabyte has arrived, and what do I have to say about it? Well, I don't want to talk about the stats, because they're pretty typical of the Dreadnought, with the exception of it lacks the health boost that we've become so known with the Dreadnoughts. Instead, it has additional armor slots, but I mean, they don't really make up for it, because at the end of the day, it's only going to have about 107. Actually, I'm not even going to try and calculate it out because it's extremely late. I'm well beyond the point where I should have been up, but you know what? I'm still here making this video for some stupid reason. The fact that I don't just wait until later to make this video for all of you is pretty hilarious. But what I want to show you is something hilarious that I've just been deeply amused by. So far, the ship's stats, the abilities and stuff has been relatively unimpressive, but the Stutter Salvo is the most enjoyable aspect of the ship that I've found so far because of what you're seeing now. Is it broken and overpowered? No, because it can't one-shot anything. But is it hilarious to watch stuff struggle to keep up with the ship while it fires homing projectiles that do a decent sum of damage to the target? Yes. Now, there is one thing I wanted to bring up about the animation of the explosion of the blast radius. And it's how quickly it goes out. Now, you're seeing this at 2x speed, and I was playing 1x speed, but still, I want the development team to consider, specifically the animation portion of the team, to consider slowing down the animation, just like with the Oran, because they're both things that when you watch the barrel roll, it seems far too fast. And in this case, the AoE blast like that, it seems a little bit too fast. I actually want to see it expand out more slowly because it actually looks pretty decent for what it does. But other than that, there isn't much that I have request-wise for the ship because, I mean, it's arrived and it's... I don't want to talk about the stats, so that's a pretty obvious point that they're not going to be that decent in my eyes. So, why talk about them? What am I going to be using the ship for? Well, along with other Dreadnoughts, I'm considering turning them into support ships, and in the case of the Zettabyte, it is nearly the perfect support ship. 12,000 meter maximum range with this massive AoE cannon that applies for, I believe, 10 seconds worth of stasis. Let's just go ahead and let's take a look. 5 seconds, around 5 seconds of stasis. Okay. Still, that's still 5 seconds where the target's going to be slowed down, and it only gets better as its mark upgraded, because the longer it's mark upgraded, the higher its mark upgrade, the better the stasis gets, and at Elite it features an 8,000 damage burst and 75% stasis on top of the 6,000 meter blast radius. Now, that's just amazing, honestly. And the fact that we haven't had something like this, or the fact the Seg Fault didn't get something like this when phasing was reworked and the ships themselves needed to have their kits updated because, well, when phasing changed, the faction should have changed as well because their primary trait that they used was being altered, so the kits should have been updated, but they never were. A blast like that would have been amazing on the Seg Fault. But here it is with the Zettabyte, and, well, while it seems interesting, it's actually more hilarious than anything else because of how it works out, well, how it plays out. In all actuality, I think it could use a little bit of tweaking, but I'll save that for a different video. For now, it's just a matter of amuse yourselves as it picks apart these targets and just... it stutter steps around the targets, dropping volley after volley of just outstanding damage, and by outstanding I mean mediocre, whilst remaining outside their firing range. Now, I'm still getting used to how it moves and stuff like that, but once I get it down pat, I'm going to poke all of the umbral targets in the game with it just to see how well it can handle. And because I want to see if we can do a no damage against every single target. Now, the reason I want to do that is because the no-damage fights are my most entertaining fights. And the fact that the Zettabyte theoretically has that possibility means that it's going to be quite interesting if we can actually pull it off. And as for suggestions, the next video, which will be for tomorrow, which will not be a end of the night last minute video because I waited until the end of the night to make it and just hastily made it in my tired state. No, tomorrow's going to be a suggestion video dedicated to the Zettabyte, as well as a few things that other ships could use as suggestions, because I see them as more or less quality of life updates than actual suggested changes to the ships. The reason the Zettabyte is included in the list in the first place is actually more or less aesthetic appealment for the most part. But we'll talk about that some more later on. For now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some rest. So, be safe out there, my pack. Happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you later.